Hey everybody, Michelle is here. I'm getting ready to have my lunch. It's like a little bit after 2:30, I guess. I don't know. On the West Coast. So anyway, I've been running around all day on a Sunday, uh, getting some stuff organized and getting myself ready for when I move in my little studio apartment. So I just want to come through and say, man, traveling. I'm going to say about traveling that for me, it's not really necessary that I have to travel to a lot of places and see a lot of things. I'm good going to specific locations for specific reasons, you know what I mean? But I don't necessarily need to go to certain places just to say I've been there, you know what I mean? A lot of people do that, and that's fine. I enjoy being in an environment where I know it belongs to me. How about that? Whether I'm renting it or buying it, because living because in the hotels, let me tell you about me. I use my own sheets. I use my own linen when I go into hotels. I don't care how fancy they are. I use my own linen because I know that I wash and clean my linen. You can't necessarily say that about anybody else, no matter what type of hotel you're in, or motel, Holiday Inn, right? Because of my experiences. That's the only reason why I do that. Because I hadn't done that before. I used to go to hotels and lay on their linen and took, I assumed that they were actually, but I found out otherwise. And so that's the microwave. Oh, so I decided, I don't care if my linen has holes in it. I'm sleeping on my own linen if I'm in a hotel. If I'm in somebody's house, I don't have an issue with that. I don't usually have an issue with that when I go to visit people. But when I go in hotels, no way. I just can't do it. So I just finished washing my linen, and setting up my bed here. And I'm getting ready to do some catching up on things because I'm way behind on a lot of stuff, because I'm moving around. I've traveled all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. And, I'm here setting myself up, and I'm happy to be over here. I know there's a storm coming through, but that doesn't trouble me at all because I just stay prepared. I don't panic anymore because, back in the day when I was living in Florida, it was always, a lot of people got complacent because a lot of times the information that was coming through was wrong. It was way off. And so I don't know if they are closer in their predictions anymore because I don't pay attention to it. What I do is I pay attention to how I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, what I'm receiving, and I plan accordingly. I prepare accordingly. And yes, I listen to the officials. I listen to everybody. But sometimes you can pick up that something's about to happen. And I'll never forget, too, one time I was living in my condo back in the day. This was back in the early 90s. I just moved in there. And I don't remember any preparation or being told that I had to evacuate at all. It's just one day I'm in there. I'm not one to, even though I love TV, I never used to pay so much attention to what was necessarily being said. I didn't know a storm was coming through. And yes, they were right. A storm was coming through. I was on the second floor, and I can remember hearing a freight train. Once everything got all revved up and conjured up, I do remember the sound of the freight train, like they said. You do hear that. And I was on the second floor, and I necessarily didn't have anywhere to go except my bathroom, but I felt comfortable just kind of standing outside my bathroom. And I can remember. And what I think saved us, that saved our building, was we had trees at that time. These were, fully grown. I think they were a type of pine, tree. That is what saved us from the freight train. Because like I said, I heard it and I was like, wow. And I know that the pine, like I said, took most of the brunt of it, or whatever that was, and it went through quickly. It does go through quickly, but I do remember my condos kind of swaying a little bit. Yeah, because I had just got in there, so that was the early 90s, 91, 92, or something like that. But anyway, so yes, it happens quickly, and I think what saved us, my building, was there were trees. Because it was a new building, and it was a new construction, and there were still trees that surrounded us. These pines were surrounding us, and so so we were kind of the only building per se out there, with because it was a new development and such, and so like I said, I'm thankful to the trees because, like I said, I don't remember getting any type of alerts. All I know is the cloud it was dark, all of a sudden, darkness came through. I heard a freight train sound, and I heard my building shaking, kind of swaying a little, and boom, it was over. That was less than a minute or two. So in other words, I got prepared. I know what to look out for and what to pay attention to, but I'm telling you, it's the trees that saved our building. I can guarantee it because of that, because it kind of whipped through so quickly, it would have taken the roof off if those trees weren't there. The trees bear the blunt of it, or the brunt of it. So anyway, just want to say that's the importance of trees. That's why Mother Nature knows best. So if anybody has the opportunity and has property or land and you can plant trees, look into it, research it, and plant some trees so that you can save these structures that are because of the extremeness of the weather. Okay, so because usually it does whip in so quickly, and before you know it, your roof's off, and that's it. That's the end of it, and it happens in less than a minute or two. So anyway, look into planting trees, and realize that Mother Nature knows best when it comes to how to survive in storms and such. And pay attention to what the animals do as well. If you see animals leaving your environment, pay attention to that, or you don't see animals at all. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and have my lunch. I'm gonna have some salmon and some brown rice, broccoli, and blah blah blah. And then I'm gonna catch up on some things. I'm really behind on stuff that I was doing prior to moving, but I was happy to start reading again. And so that's something I'm looking forward to, possibly sitting down later tonight and do some reading and catching up on some things, and planning for the next adventure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and send peace and love to everybody on this Sunday. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself and relaxing and paying attention to your environment, paying attention to your surroundings, and keeping your family safe, keeping yourself safe. And like I said, don't panic. Just be prepared, okay? Peace and love. Trust me, I'll be back.